Welcome to Earth and Space Stage 3. The scientific concept that will be covered in this video is: how did the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people use observations of the night sky to inform decisions about everyday activities? However, I would firstly like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land. I would like to pay respect to elders both past, present and emerging. Ben Flick, an Aboriginal man from the Kalamori language group of northwestern New South Wales, will now explain a creation story passed down to him regarding the emu in the sky.
Emu in the sky. Around April, May every year, the emu will appear in the Milky Way. Just underneath the Southern Cross, you'll see a dark spot, a rounded dark spot. That's the head of the emu. In front of him, of course, is his beak. And as we follow it down, you can see his neck in the dark spots of the Milky Way. It comes right down to his body. You can see his legs, and you can see a couple of eggs underneath. At that certain time of year, it's the time for us to go out and collect emu eggs. We go out, of course, into the bush, always leaving some eggs for next year and for the generations to keep going. They only last up until early June. Anytime after early June they start getting chicks in them. But before that, from April, May, you're pretty right to go gather.
If you look up into the night sky tonight, you may be able to spot the emu in the sky, given that right now is April, and it is April and May that the emu is said to be seen. The emu is stretched across one of the most familiar objects in the night sky, the Milky Way. Look closely at the Southern Cross and you'll see its head as a dark smudge tucked near the bottom left-hand corner of the constellation. Its neck passes between the two pointer stars, and its dark body stretches the length of our luminous galaxy. The emu in the sky has featured in Aboriginal storytelling for thousands of years. Many different language groups have their own interpretations of the emu in the sky. Once you hear these stories, the night sky may never look the same again. And it's not just stories you'll find. Aboriginal astronomy contains a map to understanding, surviving, and living in harmony with this land. At the Alvina engraving site in the Ku-ring-gai National Park in Sydney, there is an engraving of an emu. A few years ago, it was pointed out that this engraving looks more like the emu in the sky than a real emu. Aboriginal people have not always had the aid of telescopes or satellite photography. Nonetheless, Aboriginal people have been able to use the sky as a guide. The night sky was also important as a calendar for Aboriginal Australians. The movement of constellations was connected to the changing of the seasons and the availability of food sources. Thank you for listening, and don't forget, when it's autumn and a clear night, look up into the night sky and see if you can spot the emu in the sky.